Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we'll be learning how to cut our flounce, and we'll be using our pattern paper for this. You can as well go ahead to mark this on your directly on your fabric. So the first thing I'm going to do is to mark a line at the center of my pattern paper or your fabric, whichever you are using. Just divide your pattern paper or your fabric into two and then mark yours on it. If yours is going to have lining, you are supposed to fold your fabric into two. But if you're going to be using a different type of fabric for the lining, please go ahead and mark it just on one side of the fabric. Yeah, that's, you don't need to fold your fabric. And then I'm going to divide the other side of my pattern paper and then mark a line straight. That's, this line is going to be just is going to divide the pattern paper into four equal parts. I hope you understand what I am doing here. So this is our point, and then from that point I'm going to be marking 2 inches all round. This will serve as a starting radius for us, depending on how wide you want your flounce to be. If you want it smaller, please go ahead and reduce this to 2 inches that I am marking round. But for me, I am marking as 2 inches because of how wide I want my flounce to be. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these 2 inches that I am marked um as much as I can. Just, we are trying to create a circle, a center circle for this. Then from the one side of the lines that we marked, I'm going to go ahead and mark the length of my flounce, and I marked at 5 inches from this. And then I'm going to go ahead, just like you see me do, please go ahead and connect it to the other side of the line that we marked. You can as well connect it to the other side. It mustn't be at the left side. You can connect it from the right side as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and start marking the length of my flounce, the wideness of it. Remember, we use 5 inches, so that 5 inches is what I'm going to use to mark it all around. If you make use of 4 inches, so please, you make use of 4 inches all around this. So I'm just connecting these like points I am making so that you guys can see what we are working with. And then when we get to this one that we connected, this slanted one, please make it a little bit curvy. Mine is not as curvy as it's supposed to be, which I am going to correct as we go on to the on with the video. So instead of marking from the circle that we marked, you're going to start from the line that we mark, just like you see me do. You, from the new line that you created, you're going to mark circle. You're going to continue marking your 5 inches all around, just like you see me do. Please go ahead and do the same for yours. And the length of the wideness of this depend, just like I said before, depends on how long you want your flounce to be. So as you mark, please go ahead and then measure your flounce length. You're going to be measuring the lines that you are marking. That is going to what is going to give you the clue of how long this flounce will be. So I'm just going to stop at one of the lines of one of the four lines that we created. And what I did there is just to remark that curvy place that I was telling you guys about. It's not curvy, it's supposed to be a little be to be curvy, not so curvy, but at least to be curvy. So we are going to go ahead and cut this out, and I'm going to show you guys how to fold it on your fabric. If you haven't subscribed to my channel up to this moment, please take a moment to hit on the subscribe button, join the growing family, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. So like I mentioned earlier, if you are going to use a different fabric for your lining, please go ahead and cut out your lining as well, just like you cut out the fabric itself. And if you're going to use the same fabric, you're going to then cut this into two. So we are going to attach this before you start attaching your back bodies or your back bodies or your upper bodies. So this is how to fold it. Please look at the video very well, you're going to get it. So once you attach the upper part at the waistline, you are going to start folding it more like in a spiral form. You fold from the right side and then fold from the left side, and that's how you're going to continue doing this until you exhaust the fabric that you have. And if you want it to be the same measurement, please go ahead as you are folding, you keep measuring and making sure that it doesn't um get bigger as you go. Just like you see my own is getting bigger, but if you don't want it to get bigger, please go ahead and measure it to make sure that you have a uniform size as you go along. So this is it. After folding it, you're going to be stitching each layer down one after the other as you fold, or as you after folding, use your pin to secure it. So I'm going to go through this thing one more time so that for those that do not get it will get it. So yeah, this starting point is going to be at your waistline, or where you want the flounce to, where you want to attach the flounce. So this is how you keep folding it. You fold from the right side, and then while the other side is going to be open this way, and then you fold it in, and then you fold the other side, and also fold in the other side. So once you fold to the other side, it's going to be more like open. It's not opening it's not opening by itself, because this is a pattern, it just stays like that, but I will just open it so that you guys can see. So the way it's opened this way, you just fold it in just like you would do from the right side. I hope you get this. If there's any question, please don't forget to leave it in the comment section. So for the other design, for the other type of flounce, and this can be used for children, the same pattern you use to cut for this is what you're going to use to cut for adults. So I made this style a while ago. It's in my channel, please check it out. I'm going to measure how long I want my flounce to be. So this is my waistline where I want to attach my flounce. I'm going to make a rough estimate of how of where my flounce will be attached. It's just a rough estimate of it. So let's assume that what we have there, okay, I was using the same yellow color for as the tape. I decided to bring a contrasting color for this so that you guys can see it well. So this is how, just take a rough estimate of how of the idea of how you want your flounce to be attached. So that's what I just did. And for this, I'm going to be using my pattern paper as well, but like I mentioned, you can use your fabric to cut this directly on your fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and fold my pattern paper into two, and then fold over again. For this, you can use your 180-degree flay, or you can use 360. If you want to use 360, this is how to fold it. And if you want to use your 180, you just fold over like in a triangular form, and this is your 180-degree flay. But for me, I'm going to be using 360 for this pattern paper, so we are going to go ahead and fold this over. Okay, from the measurements we took, let's assume that the length of our flounce is 40 inches. So 40 inches divided by 6.28, this is the radius for our, the measurement for our radius, or the formula for our radius, and they have about 6.4 inches. So we're marking at 6.4 inches. So I'm going to place my measurement at the starting point, just like we want to cut our fillet, and then I'll be marking at 6.4 inches. Please add your stitching allowance while if you are cutting directly on your fabric. So I'm marking it all around and then connect the measurement. And for this, because my pattern paper is not as long as I want it, so what I have there is 6 inches. I can only mark 6 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 6 inches all around, just like you cut your fillet. And I'm going to show you guys how to attach this to get that result. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out these two places. We won't be needing them again, and then we make use of our flounce to attach our flounce to our bodies. So this is it. After cutting it, I'm just going to cut open one side of it. Just like I mentioned earlier, you're supposed to attach this to your skirt, front skirt, before attaching your upper bodies and also your back bodies. So we are going to go ahead. Let's assume this is our front skirt, and this is where we are supposed to attach it. So the starting point will be on our waistline, so that by the time you turn, you fold, you stitch your bodies, it will be closed. The rough edges will be closed. So this is how you will fold it, as bold as you can or as bold as you want, just like we folded the first one, I believe. Nothing serious. Sorry about the the paper is too stubborn. So you're going to fold it this way, but it's not as tiny as the first one. This one is going to be very bold. So you, the way I am making, showing you guys with my hand, that's how you're going to fold it, and then you stitch down from each side of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.